I got to a spot where I was just self-destructing.
All right, Leon. So, mate, first question: how long ago did you join UPA Kings? How long was it?
It'd be just over 2 years, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Started with the Warrior course.
Yep. Awesome. All right. And mate, obviously 2 years ago was a long time. I know there's been a shitload of stuff that's happened between then and now. But mate, if you can recall back then, what were the main drivers for you for actually starting with UPA Kings? Why did you join UPA?
I got to a spot where I was just self-destructing. So, you know, I've been mechanical in my life, and I thought, you know, I'm going to have a crack at this, and no business experience whatsoever, and no idea how to deal with the stresses, and I just literally got to a point where I was burning myself out, working every day. You know, you're paying taxes, you're paying all the stuff you got to pay, and all the cool stuff you got to do, and just falling in a massive hole. The family's suffering, I was suffering, and just didn't know how to deal with it. So, yeah, you're drinking heaps and partying with the boys and doing everything you're not meant to do. Everything to distract you from what you're actually meant to be doing in life, and in general, family just goes to the wayside, because you've got all this stress on you all of a sudden.
Yeah. That's a great holistic overview. In the context of the business at the time, if you don't mind, obviously, what was happening in terms of three things like turnover, your amount of time, net profits? What was kind of happening there?
There pretty much wasn't much profit at all. I think back then, I made maybe 600,000-700,000 for the year turnover.
Yeah.
And I was working every day. So, you know, in the goldfields. So if you're doing between 70 to a 98-hour week, that's average. That's like a standard week in the mines. Or, you know, between 12 to 14 hour days, plus travel and everything. But then I was coming home and spending another 2 or 3 hours, 5 days a week in the office after work. So you could easily, some weeks you'd be doing 110 hours a week. So there's no time. There's zero time. And then the stress that you put on yourself for not doing a couple of days, but then you've got to catch it up on the Sunday if you get a weekend off. Instead of spending family time, you just, I can't do that. It's not going to happen. We've got to do this. We've got to make money and just bust some ass every single week.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
No. All right. So 2 years on, or just over 2 years on now, Leon.
Yep.
Mate, as a roundabout, how are things different in the context of what you've just discussed? What's the change? What's the difference?
It's 100 times different. So the big difference is me as a man showing up as a father, as a partner, as a business owner. You know, we've gone from 600,000 or 700,000 to 2.5 million. You know, nearly probably 3 million this year.
Yeah.
Which is a huge difference, and we've got systems in place, and that I'm working, you know, maybe 20 to 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
So you look back then, you'd think there's no fucking way that I'd be where I am now. And you know, you get those little moments of realisation when you put those systems in place. You know, I can train, I can go to the gym, I can be there, I can do the school drop-offs for the kids, and be accountable and be home and actually be the person that I need to be for the family, and have the mindset where I can leave the business at the business and I can switch it off and go home.
Yeah. So you freed up a hell of a lot of time, 50 to 70 hours a week minimum, basically.
Yeah.
Obviously turnover's grown and there was not really much profit before. Profits now, what are you kind of expecting as an estimate this year, do you think?
We've paid down a lot of debt, so I reckon by this year, hopefully profits should be up around, it's just a guess, maybe $500,000.
Yeah, and that's net. That's after you paid yourself everything out. Yeah, $500,000. That's incredible. Yeah, okay. So for the guys watching, that should probably be quite clear on where you're at right now. The question in probably some heads is going to be, well, how the fuck did you, how? Like, what is it have we supported you with or done, or you, how do you think, yeah, go for it.
It's a systems as a man. It's, you know, you've got to want to make the changes within yourself, and it's hard. You've got to kill all the old shit that holds you back, or, you know, all the anchors and all the bullshit stories that you tell yourself, and actively push to be the person you want to be. You know, like to last year, as you guys know, I dropped 27 kilos, and I'm still on that journey now. But you have to physically and mentally want to do it, and those systems that, you know, Ricky helps and puts in place, so you can cope with all that, and you get your quality of life back. And it's not just for me. That flows on to relationships, to the wife, to the kids, to the family, to the friends. And, you know, people I haven't seen for a long time notice the change. They're like, man, you're different than you used to be. You know, look, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. So for you, it sounds like the vast majority of that transformation has been, it's about you. It's not necessarily strategy and all that other stuff. It's you.
Yeah, that's right.
The way you're showing up and functioning.
Our core business is still the same, except for I'm not involved in swinging spanners anymore. Like, it's the core business hasn't changed, but all the whole change has been within me. Otherwise, Mrs. and the 4 kids would be gone. I can guarantee you they wouldn't be at home waiting for me to get home this week.
That's unreal. So, mate, if you're watching this interview, for example, and you're a guy that's considering working with UPA, they're watching this at the moment, they're on the fence, mate, Leon, what would you say to that individual?
It's a tough one. Like, you have to want to make a change. Like, most of us stubborn bastards have to have a big catalyst. Like, there has to be a massive drive or something massive in our lives to make that change. But it doesn't have to be that hard, eh? Like, you've got to do the work on yourself, but you're given the tools to do that, and then you just make the changes. And the smallest things can just change the whole way you view the world.
100%. Awesome.